Here we are, the prequel film aka the next installment of the Quiet Place series. A Quiet Place, Day 1. Well, technically in the film's time frame it's actually Day 2. But anywho, being a fan of the first two films, I was curious to see if this film would carry the same energy and elements that made the first two films good. And I have to say it did. If you're a fan of the series, this is right up your alley. And also if you're a fan of horror and thriller films, this film can also satisfy your appetite. Elements of the film that are good would be the performances, the thriller aspects, and the setting choice. Starting with the performances, everyone did a great job with their roles. Lupita damn near carries the film with her strong performance, but Joseph Quinn does an exceptional job as the co-lead, perfectly bouncing off of Lupita throughout the runtime of the film. Also Nico and Schnitzel as Frodo the cat Loki that carried the whole film. Secondly, the thriller elements of the film were effective in maintaining that anxious atmosphere that the Quiet Place films are known for. Some scenes when they are traveling through the city, it gives you a genuine sense of anxiety knowing the creatures are out there and the slightest sound can lead to a character's death. It has a healthy balance of built-up tension and the occasional jump scare, although it doesn't rely on the jump scares, which is refreshing. And lastly, the setting of the film was a good choice. Having the film take place in New York really opens the opportunities for the story to go in different ways. In the first two films, the settings were very isolated and confined for being long into the apocalypse. But following the initial day in an open city that on its own produces enough noise to be its own character was a good choice by the writers and director. I'd say the one element that was weak in the film would be the story. Being a prequel, you already know what is going to happen. And Day 1 does a fine job of showcasing what we see in the first two films. However, you kind of realize what's going to happen with this story, and once you see it in the beginning of the film, you can pick up what's going on. Other than that, the film does a good job of capturing your attention through its narrative. A Quiet Place, Day 1 was released on June 28, 2024 on a budget of $67 million. At the time of this review, it has grossed $245.9 million at the box office. Overall, A Quiet Place, Day 1 is a good installment in the series. I hope somehow we can revisit this story in a future project. But seeing how that is unlikely, I'm fine with this origin story. Final grade, B+.
This is fun! Hello!